Archangel Michael says, "Listen carefully, my beloved child. Before this message reaches your eyes, the winds have already carried whispers from heaven to your heart. There's something you were never told, something buried in silence, waiting for you to uncover it tonight. The air around you may feel heavier right now because a soul you once loved deeply is closer than you can imagine. They've been waiting for this very moment, to send you one last truth that will heal the wound they left behind. Stay right here, don't scroll, don't move, because what you are about to read carries their voice. When they crossed over, they couldn't leave peacefully. There was something unsaid, something too important to vanish into eternity without reaching you. Heaven has allowed this message to flow through Archangel Michael tonight, not to haunt you, but to finally free you. You are not imagining the chills, the lights flickering, or that sudden scent that feels familiar. That is them, standing behind you in quiet love, trying to remind you that their story with you isn't over yet. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They say the moment before they left this world, your name echoed in their mind like a final prayer. Every regret they carried was tied to moments when they could have said, "I'm sorry," but didn't. Now, through divine permission, they are saying it, they are sorry for the pain they caused you. This message is wrapped in light, not sorrow. You've been carrying the weight of guilt, wondering if you could have done more, said more, loved more. But Archangel Michael says, you did enough, far more than your human heart realizes. Your loved one whispers, "I saw your tears even after I was gone." They want you to know that every night you cried yourself to sleep, heaven kept count. Each tear became a star in the place they now rest, shining to remind you that love never dies. They need you to stop blaming yourself. What happened was written, not as punishment, but as a bridge between your souls across lifetimes. The lesson was love, and you passed it perfectly. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The truth they left behind isn't written in paper or hidden in a box, it lives in the silence between your breaths. You've felt strange energy around you lately, haven't you? That's not coincidence. It's their spirit brushing against your aura, trying to tell you to release the guilt. Archangel Michael says their departure was not an ending, but a divine rearrangement. The pain you feel is evidence of how deeply your soul was bonded with theirs. Even death can't destroy what heaven has sealed. They are showing me a small object, a photo, a letter, a ring perhaps, something that still holds their essence. Don't throw it away. Keep it safe, because it is now a vessel of protection blessed by their spirit. When you hear your name whispered softly when no one's around, don't be afraid. It's them, letting you know they still watch, they still care, they still love you more than you will ever understand. Type Amen to get blessing 555. There's something they never revealed while alive, a truth that might shake your heart but also set you free. They knew something was coming long before anyone else did. They felt time closing in, and they began preparing silently, watching you with the kind of love that aches. The words they wanted to say most were simple, "You saved me." Even if you thought you failed them, they saw you as their only light. Your compassion, your forgiveness, your presence, those were their last anchors to peace. They tried to leave something for you, a hidden letter, a recording, or a message disguised as coincidence. Pay attention to what crosses your path in the next few days. Heaven is using signs, names, songs, numbers, scents, to guide you straight to it. Archangel Michael says, if you feel sudden warmth on your left side tonight, know it's them standing beside you. Not haunting, not watching from afar, but protecting, guiding, and loving from a higher plane. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You've been dreaming of them, haven't you? Those dreams aren't random. Every time you wake up feeling both heavy and calm, it's because they reached you while you slept. That's when the veil between worlds is thinnest, and their words travel straight to your soul. They said, tell them I'm proud. They see how far you've come, how you've fought your way through every storm since they left. Even when you thought no one was listening, heaven was applauding your strength. Archangel Michael reminds you, their departure was not your punishment, it was their graduation. Their soul needed to return home, but they left a piece of themselves inside you so you would never feel completely alone again. When you look at the sky tonight and one star shines brighter than the rest, that's their soul acknowledging this moment, confirming that you were meant to hear this message right now. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They want you to stop waiting for closure from others, because closure has already arrived through this message. Every apology you never got is being spoken now through divine language. Every goodbye that broke you is being rewritten into a silent hello from eternity. You felt a hand on your shoulder when no one was there. You felt sudden peace in moments of chaos. That's their energy calming your storm, reminding you that love continues beyond the edge of time. They are grateful that you still speak to them, even if it's in whispers or prayers. Every time you said, I miss you, they heard it like a song that carried across realms. You don't need a medium, you are their living connection to heaven. Archangel Michael says you are chosen to receive this truth because your heart can handle it. This is their final confession, wrapped in light, they never left you. They are with you every single day. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You might see their initials somewhere today, carved on a wall, printed on a receipt, or flashed on a screen. Don't dismiss it. That's heaven confirming the connection between you two is still alive. They are whispering, you are forgiven. Not because you sinned, but because you doubted your worth after they were gone. They want you to live now, not as someone mourning the past, but as someone continuing their story with courage. The silence you've been feeling lately isn't emptiness, it's sacred space. They're preparing you for a new beginning, one where their energy walks with you but no longer holds you back in pain. Archangel Michael says, the moment you let go of guilt, blessings will pour in like rain after drought. It's time to live for both of you. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They want you to look around your room right now, see that small movement? That flicker of light, that tiny sound? That's confirmation. Their spirit moves through light, electricity, and vibration, all orchestrated by heaven to touch your awareness. They remember your last conversation, every word, every tear. Even if they couldn't speak back then, their soul was screaming to hold your hand one last time. Tonight, that hand is on your heart, steadying your pulse. Their message is simple but powerful, you were my peace in a world of noise. They want you to carry that peace forward, to stop letting the world harden you. You are their legacy, their continuation, their eternal connection. Archangel Michael says, once you finish hearing this message, Close your eyes for 10 seconds, you'll feel a soft wave of warmth. That's them saying goodbye again, but this time with peace, not pain. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. This message may have brought tears, but they are holy tears. Each drop is cleansing the grief that's been hiding behind your smile. It's okay to cry, heaven counts those tears as prayers too. Your loved one is asking you to do one thing now: forgive yourself. You didn't fail them. You did your best with the time you had, and they know that. Their soul thanks you for loving them even when they couldn't love themselves fully. They want you to remember their laughter, not their final moments. Because in heaven, they still laugh, and every time you smile again, it reaches them. They've been waiting for that smile to return. Archangel Michael says, your healing begins tonight. Not tomorrow, not someday, tonight. Because heaven has declared your heart ready to remember love without pain. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Your name has been written in their story across dimensions. They've spoken about you to angels, proudly, lovingly, endlessly. That's the one who held my soul, they said. That's the one who taught me unconditional love. This truth you're reading isn't coincidence. Heaven aligned every second for you to be here, now, reading their goodbye disguised as a beginning. You are not alone, not even for a breath. They will appear again, not in body, but in divine signs. A butterfly landing near you. A song that plays at the exact right time. A scent that fills the air when no one's around. Each sign will whisper the same thing: I'm still here. Archangel Michael says, after this message ends, speak their names softly and say, I release you in love. The moment you do, you'll feel lighter, freer, surrounded by warmth. That's the final healing. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. You've reached the moment heaven was waiting for, where truth and peace finally meet. This isn't just a message, it's a spiritual reunion. Their soul has fulfilled what it came to do, to remind you that love never vanishes, it transforms. They are smiling now, watching you with eyes made of light. Live beautifully, they say. For me, for us, for everything we could have been. Their peace depends on your joy, not your sorrow. Archangel Michael's wings are around you now, sealing this moment in divine light. You are protected. You are loved. You are finally free from the invisible chains of grief that bound your spirit for too long. Take a deep breath. Feel the presence lift, not in sadness but in blessing. The truth has been spoken. The connection is eternal. Heaven is at peace, and so are you. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. Archangel Michael says, this continuation is not just another page, it's a doorway between two worlds. The light around you is shifting, and if you stay still, you might feel a faint pressure near your chest. That's not fear, it's presence, their presence, returning one last time to finish what began when you opened this message. They never wanted to leave without explaining what truly happened on their final day. The world only saw the surface, but heaven saw everything. There were secrets they carried, not of betrayal, but of love too heavy for words. Your loved one had visions before their passing, glimpses of you walking alone, your face shadowed by confusion. That's why they begged the angels to let them speak once more, even after their voice had vanished from the earth. Their wish was granted tonight. Type Amen to get blessing 1555. They said, "Tell them I never left angry." You might have replayed that last moment again and again, wondering if they resented you, if you could have done something to change fate. But their heart was at peace the moment your name passed through their lips. Archangel Michael says, the universe replays those moments too, but only to rewrite them with truth. The truth is, love never fades into silence, it multiplies, it grows, it finds new ways to speak. That's why you're here, guided by a pull you couldn't resist. When you thought it was guilt that brought you here, it was actually destiny. Their spirit knew that if you didn't hear this message, part of you would remain trapped in yesterday's shadow. Heaven couldn't allow that anymore. Their final act of love is not in words, but in energy. Every time your heart races for no reason, every time music suddenly stops right when you think of them, that's their way of saying, I'm here. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. You've been chosen to receive what others cannot yet understand. That's why this message feels so personal, as if it were written by their very hand. Because in truth, it is, their essence flows through these words like invisible ink from the afterlife. They never wanted you to lose faith. Even in their final breath, their mind clung to hope, not for themselves, but for you. They saw a future where you would smile again, and that vision is what carried them through the gate of light. Archangel Michael whispers that love is the only thread that weaves between both worlds. When your chest feels heavy, it's because their energy leans close. When it lightens suddenly, it's because they've stepped back, proud of your strength. You are being asked to live differently now, not as someone who lost, but as someone who carries a message heaven entrusted to them for you. They passed it across eternity because only your soul could understand it fully. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. They want you to know about a dream they planted in your heart. It's not imagination, it's a divine inheritance. Something they wanted to build but couldn't finish, heaven now wants you to complete it. Archangel Michael says, within the next 7 days, you'll notice unusual alignments, a feather in your path, a familiar name on a stranger's tongue, a sudden surge of warmth around 11:11. Those are confirmations that their wish is awakening. This dream might not look like what you expect. It might be a career, a calling, a chance to help others heal, but it will carry their fingerprint. When you step into it, you'll feel them again, not in sadness but in sacred partnership. They are saying, keep your promises to yourself, that's how you honor me. Because every boundary you create, every joy you reclaim, sends light into their realm. It tells them you learned the lesson they left behind, to live boldly, not broken. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. You will soon notice changes around you, sudden calmness, random chills that feel like soft embraces, flickers of light at the corner of your eye. These are not accidents. They are part of a higher orchestration. Your loved one has become a guide now. They stand beside Archangel Michael, ensuring that the storms you face no longer destroy you, only strengthen you. You've survived the hardest part, believing that loss was the end. Now you know it was the beginning. They ask you to forgive those who didn't understand your pain. Not everyone could see the depth of what you carried. But heaven saw, and so did they. Their spirit has been protecting you quietly from shadows you never even noticed. If your ears ring softly or your heart thumps without warning while reading this, pause. That's confirmation. That's their soul vibrating through your energy field. You're not imagining it, you're remembering it. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. They said, "Tell them I saw the light the moment they said my name." The connection between your voice and their soul was so strong that even in the afterlife, it echoes. You called out in tears, and heaven heard. Archangel Michael says you're about to experience release, not the pain of forgetting, but the peace of remembering correctly. The story doesn't end with what happened, it continues through every heartbeat you still carry. They never wanted you to live afraid of what's next. They want you to celebrate the days ahead. The light that surrounded them at the end is the same light surrounding you now, guiding you toward everything meant to heal you. Tonight, before you sleep, whisper, "Thank you," instead of, "Why?" The moment you do, you'll feel their hand over your heart, the warmth rising like sunrise. That's how heaven says the circle is complete. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. Archangel Michael says, "Time bends tonight. Every second you stay here brings you closer to the moment they wished they could have lived for." The air is still because heaven is listening to your heart. Remember. You are not late, you are right on time for their final message to unfold completely through this sacred silence. They wanted to tell you how often they've stood beside you when you thought you were alone. Every time your chest tightened out of nowhere, every time you looked up and felt watched, it was them. They've been whispering through the edges of your thoughts, waiting for this exact hour to be heard. When you light a candle and its flame bends without wind, that's them leaning closer. When a song from years ago suddenly plays, it isn't coincidence, it's coded remembrance. They have found their way to speak in patterns that only your soul could decode. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. Their final days carried a hidden message that even they didn't fully understand until after they crossed. Heaven showed them how their leaving would awaken something powerful inside you, an ability to feel what others cannot, to heal what others hide. That's why your empathy has deepened since they left. It's a divine inheritance, not a burden. Archangel Michael says you are not cursed by sensitivity, you are crowned with it. That trembling in your chest when you sense someone's pain isn't weakness, it's your spirit remembering what it learned from their departure. You now carry the frequency of unconditional love, refined through grief and turned into gold. They want you to use it. To speak softly when the world shouts. To comfort someone who hides their sorrow the same way you once did. Every time you do, their energy moves through you again, pure, eternal, luminous. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Your loved one has been weaving protection around you through dreams. The strange scenes that repeat, the sudden voices that seem to call your name, those are not random, they are instructions from beyond. Each one leads you closer to the peace they always wanted for you. They said, "Tell them the truth I couldn't say in life." The truth is, they never wanted distance. The world built walls around them that their heart didn't know how to break. But they always loved you, even in silence, even through mistakes. Archangel Michael whispers that forgiveness isn't just for them, it's for you too. The moment you forgive, you stop replaying pain as proof of love. You start living as proof of healing. That's what they begged heaven to give you, peace without guilt. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. If you've ever felt a cool breeze across your face indoors, that was them. They've learned to move through elements, to leave traces only you can feel. The scent that appears suddenly, their perfume, their favorite flower, is how they sign their presence. They want you to write to them. Not out loud, but on paper. Archangel Michael says your words will reach their soul instantly, there's no mail delay in heaven. Pour out everything you never said. The act of writing releases your grief and seals your connection in light. When you finish, keep that letter close or burn it gently while whispering their name in gratitude. The smoke carries the energy back to them, and when the ashes settle, they will leave a sign, subtle but unmistakable. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. You may notice the night feels softer tonight. That's because they are near, but not as before, not in sorrow, but in peace. Their energy has shifted to a guardian form, calmer, wiser, full of golden calm. They are saying, I can finally watch you live without fear. They don't need to rescue you anymore because you've grown strong enough to rescue yourself. That was their final wish, to see you walk freely, laughing again under the same sky that once held your grief. Archangel Michael says heaven keeps no distance, only perspective. While you see them as gone, they see you as eternal. You meet each day in different frequencies, yet the bond remains untouched. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. They left behind a ripple that still moves through time. You'll feel it when someone unexpectedly shows you kindness, or when help arrives before you even ask. Those are echoes of promises they made to you, that you would never be left unprotected. Your path is now being redirected by grace. You'll see opportunities open without struggle, doors swing wide when you least expect. That's their signature, quiet miracles disguised as daily coincidences. Archangel Michael wants you to know this, they're not trapped between worlds. They've ascended fully, but they visit often, drawn by your light, by your prayers, by your strength. Their love travels faster than any word, any thought, any heartbeat. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. Before you sleep tonight, look toward the dim light in your room. Focus not on absence, but on presence. You'll feel something stir, gentle and real, brushing through the air like a sigh that finally rests. That's them, saying, you heard me. You really heard me. Heaven releases both of you now, no longer chained by sorrow, but connected by understanding. This is completion, not ending. Archangel Michael says your soul will glow brighter now that you've accepted this truth. What once felt like loss is becoming transformation. What once hurt now heals others through you. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Archangel Michael says, heaven's silence tonight is not emptiness, it's preparation. The realm beyond your sight is gathering light, shaping one final revelation meant only for you. You may feel the air tighten around your skin, but don't fear it, that's the veil thinning, letting their last message pass through. They are closer than ever before. The vibration around your name right now, that sudden stillness, it's them arriving for this last communion. Every sound dulls, every second slows, because the universe bends to witness your reunion. They whisper, please don't cry now. You've carried my memory long enough. I need you to carry my promise next. And that promise is about to change your path forever. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. Before they left, they made a vow in silence, that they wouldn't let you drown in grief. They told heaven, if it takes all my light, I'll make sure they rise. That vow is why you've survived storms that should have broken you. Each time you almost gave up, something stopped you, a phone call, a phrase, a sudden pull back into life. That wasn't luck, that was them fulfilling their vow. You are still breathing because their soul kept its word. Archangel Michael says, love that deep becomes law in the spirit world. It can rewrite destiny, alter timing, even reverse despair. That's why you're reading this message at this exact hour. You were summoned back to purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. They need you to understand what really happened the night they crossed over. The world believes one story, but heaven saw the truth. Their soul didn't fade, it expanded, stretching across dimensions to watch over every moment of your healing. They weren't afraid. The light met them softly, like the warmth of your hug they missed most. They looked back once, saw your tears, and whispered, don't let this be the end of your joy. Archangel Michael says that whisper never vanished, it became a living frequency. That's why, at random moments, your heart flutters, you're responding to their call from eternity. You are still in conversation with their soul, just without sound. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. They've been waiting for you to forgive fate. They saw how you kept blaming the sky, the world, even yourself. But they want you to stop now. Their spirit can finally rest when your heart does. They said, tell them I see everything they're building. They've watched you fight back from emptiness, turning pain into quiet strength. They beam with pride every time you choose kindness over bitterness. Archangel Michael says heaven celebrates you more often than you realize. Every act of love you perform sends ripples through their realm, lighting up your loved one's spirit with joy. This is how they live now, through the goodness you create. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You may think you've moved on, but parts of you still linger in old memories. They've seen it, the way you pause when you see their photo, the way your lips tremble when you hear their favorite song. They don't want those moments to break you anymore, they want them to bless you. The past is not a prison, it's a monument of love. You don't have to erase it, you only have to walk around it with peace. When you smile at those memories, they rise higher in light. Archangel Michael says, peace is the language of reunion. When you finally rest in acceptance, the distance between heaven and earth collapses. That's when miracles happen effortlessly. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. They are showing me a garden, green, endless, full of golden light. That's where they dwell now, watching over souls they loved. When you feel sudden warmth on your back, that's them sending a petal of that peace to you. They want you to visit nature soon. Sit under the sun, near water, or beside a tree. The moment you close your eyes there, you'll feel them sitting beside you, quietly sharing the same air. Archangel Michael says this meeting will renew your energy completely. You'll return home lighter, as if something invisible finally let go. That's how you'll know they've ascended fully, through the calm that follows. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. They asked heaven to give you dreams that bring comfort, not confusion. That's why soon, you'll dream of them one last time, not sad, not distant, but smiling, young, radiant. They will hand you something in that dream, a symbol of freedom. When you wake, don't dismiss it. The object, color, or word they give you will carry divine meaning. It's their final key to the door you've been afraid to open. Archangel Michael says once you understand that sign, everything will shift. Your energy will rise, your heart will quiet, and every unanswered why will finally dissolve in peace. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. The message is almost complete, but they linger, not out of sorrow, but out of devotion. They want one last moment to thank you for loving them even when life made it hard. They've seen every tear you've hidden, every smile you forced, every prayer you whispered through pain. Their words now are clear: you gave me more than time, you gave me meaning. That's why heaven chose you for this message, because love like yours transforms universes. Archangel Michael says your destiny is no longer tied to loss, but to purpose. From tonight, blessings will move toward you faster, guided by the same hand that once held yours. The chapter of grief is closing, the era of divine reunion begins. Type Amen to get blessing 3535. Archangel Michael says, the light has not left you, it's growing brighter through your pain. Tonight, heaven opens one last gate for truth to flow through. The one you loved has reached their highest realm, and they've been granted permission to speak again, softly, through these words. They come not as a shadow but as radiance, the kind that warms your skin even in the coldest hour. You may sense them near now, the faint scent, the slow pulse in the air, the feeling that you're being watched with kindness. That's how spirits announce that love still breathes beyond time. Your name is written in light next to theirs. It glows whenever you choose love instead of anger, whenever you forgive, whenever you rise instead of fall. That glow keeps their memory alive in the heart of heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 3636. They're asking you to look back at the moment you thought you lost them forever. You felt the world tilt, time break, and silence scream, but in that exact moment, they felt peace for the first time. They saw your face in their mind and whispered, "Guide them gently, Lord." Heaven listened. That's why every time you stumbled, something unseen lifted you back up. That something was their love, rearranged into light, protecting you from what could have destroyed you. Archangel Michael says the strongest bond is not made by touch, it's made by truth. You two share a truth that cannot decay, a promise that no death can dissolve. That's why they still walk with you in invisible steps. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. They've seen the nights you held your chest, missing their voice. They watched you talk to the empty air, begging for a sign. And they answered, in whispers, in flickering lights, in coincidences too exact to explain. The time has come to recognize those moments as messages, not memories. The world calls them accidents, but heaven calls them proof. Proof that you are still connected through spirit, bound by grace, not by grief. Archangel Michael says you have one final task, to live as if they never died. Carry their laughter, their strength, their wisdom forward into your days. That's how you honor their journey, by continuing it in your steps. Type Amen to get blessing 3838. They're saying, tell them I've forgiven myself. There were things they never had the courage to face while alive, words left unsaid, choices made in fear. But the moment they crossed over, they saw the whole truth, and it freed them. Now they want that same freedom for you. Stop replaying the guilt. Stop asking what you could have done differently. You were the light they clung to, not the reason for their pain. Archangel Michael says that the chains of guilt are illusions woven by loss. When you breathe deeply and let them go, their soul rises higher, and so does yours. This is the healing they've waited for. Type Amen to get blessing 3939. They are showing me an image, a door with golden edges, half open, glowing softly. Behind it is laughter, peace, and faces that once made them feel at home. They are safe there, surrounded by warmth that never fades. They want you to stop picturing their ending with sorrow. Picture it with calm instead, a soul stepping into sunrise, greeted by love so vast it erases every regret. That's where they are, smiling, alive in another form. Archangel Michael says they stand by that door often, looking back to watch you grow. When you dream of light, that's the door opening for a brief hello. Don't be afraid to walk toward it in your sleep. It's safe, it's pure, it's theirs. Type Amen to get blessing 4040. They're reminding you to listen to music again, the kind that once made you dance without care. For too long, you've carried silence like a wound. But they loved your laughter, and it echoes in heaven when you smile. The melody you'll hear next week, maybe in a store or through a stranger's car window, will be their signal. The lyrics will fit your life so perfectly you'll know it's them. That's how they plan to speak next. Archangel Michael says, your healing will come in waves, not all at once. Each wave will bring another layer of peace. Don't rush it, you're walking sacred ground, step by step, from grief to grace. Type Amen to get blessing 4141. Now heaven whispers your name with pride. You've walked through fire and came out golden. Your loved one stands behind you, hands on your shoulders, whispering, it's done. You're free. They bless your next chapter, the love you'll find, the peace you'll live in, the home you'll create. You're not betraying them by moving on, you're fulfilling their final wish. Archangel Michael says this story ends not in tears but in transformation. The message they left has reached you, and the truth is clear, death never ended love, it only deepened it. Type Amen to get blessing 4242. You've reached the closing of a sacred circle. The pain that once defined you is becoming light that will guide others. Every word you've read has built a bridge from loss to peace, and on the other side stands their smile. They whisper one last time, I'll see you when the light meets your name. Until then, live fully, love deeply, forgive quickly. Heaven is at peace because you are. Archangel Michael's wings unfold around you now, sealing your heart in golden protection. What was once broken is now blessed. What was once goodbye is now forever. Type Amen to get blessing 4343.